Hey friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe B Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I'm sitting here, just finished up my live stream. I'm so blessed to have all of you guys here. We are so blessed to still be playing. You know, I've had a few bad things happen in my life. I remember being burned. My leg is actually burned from right here down. We were working in these apartments, and we were stripping the cabinets, sanding out the floors, renovating them and stuff, and then the tenants move in and we move on to other ones. And I was refinishing the cabinets using an oil-based stripper. And the apartments were built in the 50s, the stoves were old as can be, the ball cocks, to turn them off, you had to reach up underneath the burner and turn them off. And these old ball cocks didn't close up completely. And you can't see the pilot light. And unbeknown to me, I hope I said that right, the pilot light was still lit. And I'm using the stripper. We've got plastic down on the counter so all the paint and the varnish doesn't drip on the countertops and mess them up. And there's a right mixture of fumes and oxygen that has to balance out for a fire to go. And I'll never forget the roar and seeing the flames spread across the countertops. And immediately the air, it's crazy, they always say drop to your knees, but you could see black and clear. I got out of there. And when I got out of there, I realized that my pants was on fire. There's a doormat there. I took the doormat and I put it out. Got out of there. Knocked on doors and said, hey, there's a fire in the building, get out of the place, get out of here. Went down to the office where we were working at, called the contractor we were working for. Alex, there's a fire here. They called the fire department. Went back outside, I'm looking at this place burning. And this guy who was working with me, Love, he said, well, before that, I remember looking at my hands. You can't see it here in the dark, but it's slightly discolored right here. It was blistered there, and my fingertips looked like there was like a balloon on it. Like maybe you took rubber gloves and just kind of blew at the end of it. And I was like, oh, damn. I burned my fingers. I need to go home and put some Band-Aids on it. And that's when Love said, dude, look at your leg. And my pants were completely gone. Except for a little piece of sock that was right here. You probably can't see this, but I call it my lizard leg because it was skin grafted. So right here, the sock had rolled down, and that part didn't burn. Everything else did. And they took the skin off my thighs. They have like a razor that literally cuts your skin in half. And they put it in through a cheese grater-like thing, and it comes out with these little squares of skin. And the reason being is when you get burned, it heals from the outside in. So if you have a big area that's burned, it's never going to heal. It's going to be an open sore. So they make the skin into like a graft, like a net, and they put it on there. And that's why my skin looks like all these little squares, because that's all the new skin that grew back in there. And I remember feeling sorry for myself in the hospital, like, oh my God, because, you know, I played football, I lifted weights and stuff, and it was always, I know I'm not much to look at now. I know that now. But back in college, I was about 210 pounds. I was trying to become a decathlete. I was cut up, about 12% body fat. I could run a 4.640. Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe, but it was that long ago. And so when my leg got burned and scarred, it was devastating for me. It's like, oh my God, it's hideous, because it was just nasty. And until I saw some of the other people in the burn wards that were burned up 80% of the body, it made me realize I was actually the luckiest person in the world. You mean I'm only burned from my knee down, only on one leg? I can hide this, nobody will ever see it? Because you see a beautiful woman who's burned on one side of her face or her hands. That's everything to a woman. I realized how lucky and blessed I was. So when you think back to us losing twice to Green Bay, you think about us losing to Minnesota, you think about the failures of the last 25 years. Without having bad times, you never learn to appreciate the good times. Right now, think back to where we were in 2015. That's a bad time. That was awful. 4-12. Tony Romo knocked out. Could only win one game without our quarterback. That's about as bad as it gets. Now it's good times. You should be able to appreciate this compared to what you could have, which was back there. Instead of worrying about what you don't have in life, be thankful for what you do have. Because what you'll find out is there are millions of people who wish they had what you have, even though you don't think it's much. What I learned from being burned in that hospital was most of those people in that burn ward would be grateful if they only had what I had. So instead of hating, we're not the New England Patriots. Instead of being mad that we haven't won the Super Bowl since the mid-90s, instead of dwelling on those past failures, stop for a minute. Feel good. Enjoy this. Stop being so negative in your life. Be thankful for what you have, even if it doesn't last long. Be grateful. We at least have this feeling right now. Yeah. Be grateful for what you do have. I apologize about the camera focusing and unfocusing. It's because of the lighting, the changing and all that. I've talked to Samson about what you can do on it. It all goes back to lighting, so either I have to use a different camera or we got to do it this way. But that being said, it's time to turn out the lights. This party's over. Be thankful for what you got. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you with Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys in the morning.